Are they ever going to show LeBron again now?
Looks like I picked up the wrong night to not have closed captioning.
Damon Jones.
Listen, I'm going to try to put together a little cup and get y'all some microphones at TNT if y'all can afford it.
Please. Cleveland and Boston.
It's supposed to be like a selfie field.
Yeah, but you.
Come on, man.
Draymond Green's entertaining, man. I want to hear what he's got to say.
Okay. Well, right. Moskov was entertaining tonight, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this game got very physical, Ernest.
Oh, it's an excellent lead-in. In fact, after we watch this play.
Yeah, that was a physical play right there, Ernest.
I believe things are going to get
chippy.
Yeah. There's LeBron. Now, here you go. Kelly Olynyk, Kevin Love, tangled up.
Oh.
Dislocated left shoulder for Kevin Love, who immediately leaves the premises.
Wow, tough break. Tough break.
We'll get into that in a bit on what Love had to say after the game.
Sir, face pick.
Come on, Kendrick.
Puts Jay Crowder down, and then
be careful who you push. See, he pushed the wrong guy.
Pointed a finger right in his mug.
Well, he pushed his head.
Oh my gosh.
But you see, Jay Crowder went at him though, because you can't push the wrong guy. See. One guy's going forward, one guy's going backwards. You know what that means.
Flagrant one on Perk. Double techs on Perkins and Crowder, and then
this was crazy.
Crowder,
this was
as
crazy.
J.R. Smith swings the right hand and decks him.
Ooh, that's just dirty, man. Ain't nothing you can say about it.
You watch the punch and also watch the left.
Oh.
So he strains the left knee.
I just hope that's all it is, man. Oh.
And a closed fist. That's a closed fist, too.
Kenny, I can hear Chris Tucker.
Oh, man, that's nothing funny about that one, Shaq.
No, that's awful.
Flagrant two and J.R. Smith.
Look, and then, but that was a closed fist one, Jay.
Come on. We wait and see what the league has to
I don't
say
even understand what he did wrong.
No, now keep in mind, this was 2 years ago to the date that this happened. Also in Boston.
Oh my
happened to Jason Terry, and that earned J.R. Smith a one-game suspension.
Them two clips right there, living proof why we're basketball players and not boxers. Oh, I'll let you.
Boston, by the way, outscoring Cleveland 25-13 in the third to cut the gap. That's Marcus Smart, and here is Jared Sullinger off the Smart miss. So they cut the lead down to 9, and it was 70-61, Cleveland going to the fourth.
You never thought, you knew this was over, though.
Here goes that man, Ernie.
Usher?
Yeah.
That's what Shaq would have been if he hadn't been a basketball player.
And Usher.
Isaiah Thomas scores, and then look what he does here as LeBron's trying to inbound. He's playing defense out of bounds on it.
The ref is just standing there watching.
I know we have it again. Check this out.
Look at the ref just standing right there. The ref just standing right there watching.
Isaiah Thomas trying not to smile too.
But I don't understand how the ref missed that.
He missed it, man. He doesn't have a camera up on top of the roof. He missed it.
6-point game, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds.
He didn't miss that one.
It's Boston basketball.
Yeah, he went to replay.
Come on, this guy's one of the top refs out
Oh,
there.
they're all good referees.
Gigi Datome.
No good.
And that is that. Cleveland Cavaliers sweep their way into the Eastern Conference semifinals. LeBron is 10-0 in the first round. That's their first sweep since 2009 when they swept the Pistons and the Hawks in the first two rounds. And they win it 101-93. Wouldn't you like more on this series clincher? Of course you would. Rachel Nichols.
The Cavaliers may have left Boston with a sweep Sunday, but they packed some problems with them on the team plane. J.R. Smith said he was, quote, nervous as hell that the NBA will suspend him for the flagrant foul he committed on Jay Crowder, a blow that injured Crowder and got Smith ejected from Game 4. And Kevin Love, who dislocated his shoulder in this tussle with Kelly Olynyk, minced no words, calling Olynyk's actions, quote, Bush League, and calling on the league for discipline.
I have no doubt in my mind that he did that on purpose. That's just not a basketball play. Oh, the league will take a look at it, and it better be swift and just.
You know, I've seen a lot of tie-ups in my day, and you know, that tie-up was a little different. You know, and you know, you want to play the game of basketball the right way. You want to be physical, but you never want the game to get out of hand where you have injuries.
We could say the same thing. We're all men here. We don't need to cry and tell you guys. So it is what it is. It's playoff basketball. We don't want to hurt anybody, but things happen, and you got to move forward.
As they do move forward, the Celtics know they're leaving these playoffs having overachieved, but also knowing they're unsatisfied.
I think the best way to phrase it is I like our progress, but I like to win. So I'm disappointed right now. The best thing that I take from this year is that there's growth, there's building, there's progress. Now we have to build on it.
As for the Cavaliers, they will wait and see on both Smith and Love. Love had his shoulder popped back into place in the locker room during the game. He left the arena in a sling and was scheduled for an MRI upon his return to Cleveland, although he did say he was feeling better than he expected, and he was hopeful he'll be available when Cleveland starts its next series. In Boston, I'm Rachel Nichols.
And that series could start as early as Saturday if Chicago wins tomorrow night to knock out the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, see y'all Saturday.
Hennessy, never stop, never settle. It's either Chicago or Milwaukee in the next round, and the Cavs 3-1 against both of those teams. So let's pick apart this Kevin Love situation and this J.R. Smith situation.
First of all, the Cavaliers. Let me say this one thing about the Cavaliers. LeBron's talking all that noise about.
That's not a basketball play, and that's.
Listen, his two players were worse than Olynyk's. What J.R. Smith did and what Kendrick Perkins done were a lot worse than what Kelly Olynyk did. That's just a dirty play right there. You could hurt a guy's neck right there, man. I mean, that's worse. You know, that's not a basketball play, and this is not a basketball play. I mean, this is just crazy, man. I mean, he knocked this guy out, man. He could have just shredded his knee. I hope it's just I hope it's just a sprain like they said. He could have blew out his entire knee. So
you said earlier you thought he was going to get 10 games. You think?
Well, because he's a repeat offender.
Yeah, but do you really think he's going to get a 10-game suspension?
I think he's going to get 5 at least. Ernie, that's the second time. You just showed the other play.
Showed the thing from a couple of years ago.
You can't just go around hitting people in the face.
And he got a 10-game suspension back in 2006. Remember, Denver and New York had a big brawl at the Garden in New York, and he got a 10-game suspension in that one.
But what did he get for last time?
1 game.
Okay,
one game for the Jason Terry hit.
I think he deserves 5 games for that dude. I mean, that kid's knee. I mean, it was like you're watching a boxing match when somebody get knocked out, their body just collapses. Your knee doesn't collapse like that.
Did Olynyk do that on purpose?
Did he tangle him up on purpose? Yes. Did he try to dislocate his shoulder? No. Was it a dirty play? No, it's not a dirty play. You know, you tussle, you grapple, you wrestle. Chuck went through it. Kenny didn't go through it because he was a little mad. He was scared. He liked to shoot jumpers. I went through it. Hey, it's playoff basketball. I mean, my question is, if his shoulder wasn't out of socket, will we even be having this conversation?
No.
I can answer for you. It's no. Wasn't a dirty play. It was an accident.
Yeah, I think it was more accidental and more trying to be physical, like holding on to him because he's holding on to me. I'm going to hold on and see if I can get the ball, get the ball without the referee seeing because he's already locked in. You see that a lot of times on big guys. Once they put their arm underneath, they lock in. And they won't let you go if they don't want you to because they're trying to get the basketball.
Yeah, Otis Thorpe used to do that.
Oh, all the time.
Let's go back and look at it one more time. Charles, you take me through it too. I mean, if you're battling for a rebound down low.
What you're trying to do is hold the guy and get it with one arm.
Because right here, Kevin Love is holding him
first. Yeah. You're really trying to hold the guy, and the guy just pulled him away. They're both holding each other. Look, and he just listen. And I think Kevin Love is going to regret calling it Bush League. I think he's wrong in that. But let me say this.
He intentionally held them, but he did not. It wasn't no malice.
No. But let me say this. If these guys are going to be throwing words around like Bush League, what J.R. Smith and Kendrick Perkins did was Bush League. You can't, because one of your best players got hurt. It's unfortunate. But you can't be throwing words around like Bush League after one of your guys just clocked somebody and one guy just almost decapitated another guy.
I wonder if any of that goes back to Jay Crowder saying nobody on that team is intimidating. I wonder if any of that goes.
Even if it does,
back.
like
I know.
My point is this, like,
good point, Ernie. Good point, Ernie.
No, it does. No, but listen to this.
I'm just saying sometimes.
Yeah, because they want to send a message. That's what it was from. It was like you want to send them a message, but they still played hard. It wasn't like Celtics didn't play hard. They still had a chance. Even down when they were down, they got to cut it to 6. You know, with about a minute to go, and then they were like, "We're still trying to fight, like, to win this game." Like, to me, as a guard, You know, when I was 170 pounds, soaking wet at the time.
That was a long time ago.
No, when I played in the NBA, 170, soaking wet.
170.
Soaking wet. If a guy hit me hard, I wasn't nervous to shoot again. Like, it didn't make me nervous to shoot.
Yeah, right.
Why would I be nervous to shoot the basketball again? You're not.
If I fire you right now, you're not gonna come back in there twice. I guarantee you. Oh, you want to try it right now?
Why wouldn't I?
You want to try it right now?
Why wouldn't I?
No way. No way.
Let me make this one point.
Why wouldn't I, though?
You wouldn't.
Let me make this one point.
Yeah, because you know why? Because of that right there. That's why. That's why.
But I would come back. We're playing basketball. I'm not afraid of anybody on a basketball court.
Yeah, but a lot of guys don't like that contact.
A lot of
guys don't like that physical contact.
Have you ever shot away for contact because you got fouled? Have you ever shot away
against the Detroit Pistons bad boys, and those were they were some dirty dogs.
Because you're worrying about Akeem Olajuwon, and you worrying about me coming thugh the lane. I'm going to dish it to Akeem. I see you coming. Yeah. And he's going to dunk it, and you're going to be mad. You're not going to let Akeem dunk.
But if you're killing us, hold on, Chuck. Okay. But if you're killing us, I got to touch you up a few times. So when you do,
and I do believe Shaq is right, but you're not.
But you're not afraid.
Most
because
players are not going to keep. They're going to keep coming down lane.
If you don't like that contact, you're not coming.
No,
down.
but
I just want to make this one point.
You get touched up to wake a guy up, to get him out the zone. You don't touch him up because he's scared. It's like he's in a zone, and you touch him up, and it's like, yo, you're on earth. Remember, you're shooting the ball too well. That's the way I think.
I want to say this one thing about, I'm a guy who believes in cheap shots.
Cheap shots?
I want to make sure I clean this up right.
It's part of the game.
I believe Kevin Johnson, when he played in Phoenix and I played in Philly, he was killing us one night. He scored like 26 the first half. He had like 36 after 3 quarters. And I told either Johnny Dawkins or Herschel Hawkins, I said, let him come down the lane. And I tried to break his ribs. I did. I tried to hit him hard just to wake him up a little bit.
Touch him up?
Let it touch him up. Okay.
That falls under
but let me say this.
Did he come back?
Yeah, he come, but great player. But you want to let him know. You want to give him something else to think about.
But he had to wake up.
Yeah. But let me say this one thing about the Kendrick Perkins and J.R. Smith thing. I believe that I can hit you anywhere down here, and that's fair game. You cross a line where you start hitting people in their head and things. And that's the problem I had with the Kendrick Perkins thing and the J.R. Smith thing. I think it's important to physically, like if a guy, like in baseball, if a guy's crowding the plate, I think you have the right to get him off the plate. But you can't throw at his head. But in basketball, the thing that concerned me about those 2 Cleveland plays, man, you got to be careful with people's heads. Like, you know, if he hit Jay Crowder the right way under his chin and take his neck back, he can hurt his neck.
Exactly. Before we go to break, let's put the Celtics season to bed. And you heard Brad Stevens talking about their year, and they make the playoffs. Obviously, you get swept. You don't have a lead in the second half in the series, and here are your key free agents: Brandon Bass, Jay Crowder, who's restricted, Jerebko, a couple of first-round picks, one from the Clips, and
got a bright future.
Yeah, I think.
And I think that the next year they got 3 #1 picks. They got 2 this year.
I don't know.
19. I've never seen you hit a guy dirty. I've never seen you dirty. I've never seen you hit a guy dirty. 19 years. Because you know guys could get you when they're up in the air, come up here. I've never seen you hit a guy dirty. And this what happened the last time.
Yeah,
there you go, right there.
Wait, no, but this what happened afterwards.
That was not nice.
Yeah, talking that trash, Ernie. You got to touch him up, America.
That was all because he wanted the answers to play for.
Oh, snitches get stitches, Ernie.
Yeah, well, what do you think I handed you right there?
Oh, some money.
Oh, can we see what Ernie did afterwards?
Oh. That was the answers.